Hi, today we're going to talk a little bit about the Feel Good activity badge for the squirrels. Now this is actually quite interesting because there's a number of different things that we can do here. They're linking not only with other activity badges but with the Chief Scouts Acorn Award too. So I'm going to start off by running through the different requirements and I'm going to tell you a little bit about how we can link this to the other awards afterwards. So, first things first, doing things you can enjoy can help boost your mood. What helps you feel good? Try some activities that give you a winning feeling, or do something that helps you relax. There's a number of examples here, such as team-based activity games, puzzle-solving problems, um, or problem-solving puzzles rather, crafting, stories. All of these mentioned actually are related to badges, which I'll come back to in a moment and point out the specific ones that we can link to here. I'd like to just mention that the Feel Good badge is very easy to pick up sort of alongside a different badge. Almost by accident, you can complete the Feel Good badge. As with any squirrel badge, the requirements are very low and sort of up to the interpretation of the leader. So I can say that with quite a lot of certainty, this is probably the easiest badge you can really get within all of scouting, I'd imagine, really. It also says, you can choose something challenging and enjoyable, so you can practice concentration, or you can choose a new hobby and make it part of every session at your squirrels. Next we have, we're often really busy having fun, but taking notice of how you're feeling is a great skill to practice. Take a minute to check in with your feelings and what makes you feel happy. Obviously, this is a very new sort of concept in society as a whole, really. Mental health only over the past 10 years or less, really, has really taken the spotlight and developed as a field. I'd say from what I've heard and in terms of university and things like that, which I've been to, um, I would take a moment to really emphasize this and say that self-reflection and being able to know where you're at with mental health and things that are affecting you, um, is actually a vital life skill and something that isn't taught currently, at least in things like schools. And a lot of the older generation, older people, don't have much concept of, um, despite the fact that we're being as a society much more tolerant and accepting, and able to identify different mental health problems that are occurring and how to mitigate those. So teaching people from a very young age, even squirrels, about mental health and how it can affect you and how to be aware of it is a very important skill. Um, so it's good to perhaps incorporate this into, I'd say, perhaps every session of squirrels, even where you have a moment, either at the start or the end, to reflect on how they feel. And that way, it feeds back into your program and things that you might be able to change to give the squirrels a better time of things. Obviously here, what's your favorite feeling? Think about things that make you feel happy, or you could do to help others feel happy too. Um, Making others sort of be content with where they are and enjoy scouting is a big part of, the scout laws, the scout promise, to be kind and helpful, and that includes to your fellow members of scouting. So incorporating that in some way into this would be a good way of going about things. Finally, we know that connecting with other people can help us feel good, create a comfy space to spend some time with your friends at Squirrels. You can build a den or a blanket fort, um, and you can do games or songs or something like that. This is very easy to link in with other badges, which I'm going to talk about right now for a moment. So to really start off with, perhaps you can incorporate boosting mood into being active. There is plenty of science to support that once people get over the initial, what's the word, aversion to um, exercise in terms of, competition and feeling inadequate and things like that, then actually being active is a incredibly good way to boost your mood. Uh, with serotonin and endorphins and things like that, it's scientifically proven to help you out there. So you can incorporate that into the Be Active activity badge as a good way of doing things. And next we have Brilliant Builder, which actually states about building a den using natural materials or building a fort out of blankets. So specifically, you see that's mentioned at the very bottom here, and the third requirements. It's very, very easy to sort of knit those two together. You could do something along the lines of exciting experiments in terms of going out into nature and sort of exploring things a bit. That definitely helps with mood boosting. One of the most universal ways to improve mood is to go outdoors because that's where we were evolved to be and to thrive. And if you know anything about mental health issues in the current day, a lot of it is caused by the fact we're cooped up in little rooms in sort of concrete or brick buildings in the middle of, towns and cities where you can't even see any green from your window. So basically getting back into nature and getting into the environment that we and our brains are designed for is an excellent way of helping to mitigate and handle sort of mental health problems or just awareness in relation to that. Additionally, you can incorporate different puzzles into that exciting experiment. Explore Outdoors is a very, very easy way of meeting the requirements of the Feel Good Badge 2. The Explore Outdoors Activity Badge involves going outside, sort of playing around with your friends, telling stories and things. So it's definitely a good way again to get out into nature and tick off those badges too. Get Creative Activity Badge involves crafting things using traditional materials or other such things, being inspired by natural materials for those crafts and things. So obviously, if we look at the very top here, chill out with a craft or story, you could go ahead and do that too. We have as well Go Wild, which is a very similar activity badge to Explore Outdoors. It just involves sort of animals, so you can relate that as well to sort of going outside and sort of boosting your mood that way. You could incorporate let It Grow, but really the next badge that can link in here is Let's Celebrate, because obviously celebrating your achievements is a very good way to boost your mood, and recognizing achievements is very important. Actually, before you move on there, basically badges, while they may seem small and insignificant to people who have perhaps never been in scouting themselves, um, the fundamentals of why we give out badges is to recognize achievement and merit, even in small forms for very simple things. And in the modern world, it can be difficult to actually find recognition for your achievements and your hard work. So keeping on top of badges and giving them where they're due, it actually brings in a positive reinforcement cycle into the sort of psyches of young people, where they're more motivated to do even the small things that are beneficial because they know that it's going to be recognized by others, essentially, or recognized by themselves. Because even if, as a leader, handing out a badge to somebody isn't the top of your list of most important things in your section, to them, knowing that they've got a badge and being able to wear that with pride is actually a huge part of why a lot of people stay in scouting. Because perhaps outside of scouting, there's nothing like that. If you're not particularly academic or athletic, it can be quite difficult to find recognition for your hard work because a lot of things simply aren't recognized outside of other athletic achievement or certificates from schools. So being able to incorporate even the little things into badges and being able to hand those out and let them be worn, it can recognize things that are important life skills that just aren't taught in schools. So education is more than just academia, which is something that a lot of people forget in the modern times. I'd say that educating yourself about local issues and sort of how to interact with the world around you is important as well as your sports abilities and your academic abilities, right? But if you could take someone and put them out in the wilderness and they would can't even sustain themselves, then There is a difference between someone who can do that and someone who can't, right? And that's not recognized by formal education systems. It used to be, but it's not anymore. Um, so all the badges you can really link in here. Story time is an obvious one, the activity badge. At the very bottom here, we have sing some songs, and I'd say that telling some stories can also be part of that requirement, as well as the top one here, where it says specifically tell a story. Other than that, there's all the different staged badges too. Swimmer, for example, if they enjoy swimming, that's one of the things that helps them, or playing music. There's musician, a number of different things like that. And in terms of specifically something like the Chief Scouts Acorn Award, um, everything I mentioned here really does play into a challenge award. I'd say specifically things like perhaps the All Together Award when it's to do with sort of friends and um, team activities here to boost mood. Additionally, if they find that being part of scouting is being in Squirrels actually helps them out with feeling good, coming here every week or whatever the case might be, and interacting with their friends here, that would count towards the All Arounders activity badge. All Arounders Challenge Award. The All About Me Challenge Award, perhaps you could link that in here. There is obviously some correlation between yourself and feeling good, especially when it comes to talents and interests and things. But I'd say that really one of the fundamental ways that you can feel happy for an extended period of time is in service to others, which is something that we've lost a lot in the modern world. And the All About Adventure Challenge Award, if you're going outdoors as part of this, then that would count towards the All About Adventure Challenge Award. And all those, of course, contribute to Chief Scout Acorn Award. Hopefully that's been of use and interest. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. Have a great day. Goodbye.